I want to welcome you back to Mo Talk, who is Sports and Mo. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share. Yo, welcome back to Mo Talk. I am your host, Shia Yeshub. Now, in Miami, a former Miami Heat security officer, he has been accused of stealing and selling millions of dollars worth of the team's memorabilia. A former Miami Heat security officer has been charged with allegedly stealing and selling millions of dollars worth of the team's memorabilia, federal officials announced Tuesday. Marcos Thomas Perez. He worked with the NBA team for 5 years, from 2016 to 2021, and later with the league from 2022 to 2025. Now, during his time with Miami, Perez was part of the security detail team on game days, which is now named Cassell Center, home of the Heat. A news release from the U.S. Attorney Office at Southern District, Florida states Perez accessed a secured equipment room that housed valuable memorabilia multiple times, stealing more than 400 game-worn jerseys and other items that were intended for a future Miami Heat museum, according to the release. Perez allegedly sold the items to online brokers. Prosecutors claim that the 62-year-old sold more than 100 of the stolen items worth approximately $2 million and shipped them across state lines, often below fair market value. Perez allegedly sold a LeBron James NBA Finals jersey for nearly $100,000. It was later sold for $3.7 million on Sotheby auction, according to authorities. Now, CNN has reached out to Perez's attorneys for comments. The Heat declined comment due to ongoing investigations. Now, in April, authorities executed a search and warrant at Perez's house and recovered close to 300 more game-worn jerseys and memorabilia. According to officials, the Heat confirmed the items was taken from the arena. According to the release, Perez, a 25-year retired officer for the City of Miami Police Department, made his first appearance in federal court on Tuesday on a charge of transporting and transferring stolen goods in interstate commerce. Marcos Thomas Perez. He was doing the darn thing, wasn't he? Now, people, understand that this ain't nothing new. People do stuff like this all the time. All the time. They work for a place and they figure out how to get some of the merchandise and they take it back to their neighborhoods and they sell it. Once when I worked for Wendy's, right? I ain't nothing that I'm proud of, but I figured out how to get my hands on the cases of the patties. And I used to take them patties back to my hood, and I used to sell them patties inside of my hood. And the good thing about Wendy's patties was at that time was that they were never frozen. So I was always bringing fresh patties back to the hood, and the people in my neighborhood, they was looking forward to it. But I never stole so much to the point that the managers would be looking like we having 12, 13, 15 cases of meat missing. And the only time that these cases of meats are missing is when you are on schedule, Shil, right? This is my thing. I've never been under the false pretense that police officers was model citizens. Never. So it don't shock me that he is a 25-year veteran of the Miami Police Department, and this is something that he did. Some of the most wickedest people in the world, money stringent people in the world are police departments. Sheriffs here in Texas, they own the majority of the local drug dealers. They pay them their taxes. This is a part of their retirement plan. So when police officers do things like this, it don't shock me, not one bit whatsoever. But the thing that shocked me with this story is that he was a 25-year former retired police, and he worked a high-end security detail for the Miami Heat. Not only for the Miami Heat, at some point he got employed by the NBA as well. You would have thought that Marcos Perez would have had a little bit more sense than to steal an upward of 700 jerseys that Miami was going to use for a future museum. That's a lot of jerseys. I don't know how it took so long for him to get caught, to be honest with you. But I think that this is what normally happened, is that Marcos Thomas Perez was probably under investigation for longer than he thought. This is what probably happened. He was thinking that he was getting away with something when he really was not getting away with nothing. I can see him saying to himself, man, if I can get this jersey, just one jersey, and I can flip it, I'd be good. And this is generally how a lot of people get caught. They get greedy. They don't know how to go in there and get them a little bit of something and leave this thing alone, sit down and be like, you know what, man, I did that. This is what I made. Cool. They'll go in there and they steal a little bit, and they go back and steal a little bit more, and they go back and they steal a little bit more. Bro, you stole a LeBron James NBA Finals jersey, and you sold it for $100,000. Then that same jersey that you sold flipped for $3.7 million. You don't think that them people is going to recognize their merchandise? And not only that, have an understanding of where it came from, because this is almost like clearance. There's only so many people who got access to that stuff. And you was one of them. So yeah, man, you was not the sharpest knife in the drawer. By far. Not the brightest light in the room. As my mama say, your elevator did not go to the top. Your cornbread did not bake all the way through. You was just straight dumb in the decisions that you was making and continuing to steal these Miami Heat high-profile jerseys and sell them to whomever it was that you were selling to. Bro, you should have stopped a long time ago, and you maybe would have been able to get away with it. But now, you looking like the biggest dummy in the city of Miami right now. This is Mo Talk. Y'all get at me later. Y'all help me get to 700 before this month is over with. Peace.